out of there. I need the seat, please. Osiyo negara. I have a few updates today. And I have a couple of things that maybe I shouldn't say. Nothing like serious, but that I'm just gonna say because it's like the end of our society or something based on what I'm seeing on the news, so why not just be honest? So, I've made a lot of progress with the syllabary this week. My vocab set for practicing has worked great. I'm very happy with it. I'm not quite to the point where I could fill out the syllabary chart by by heart, but I hope that I can be there soon. Yeah, so like, I know that I say this every single video lately, but like, learning the syllabary is taking so much longer than I thought it would. Like, and I guess it's one of those things where like, it's creepy knowing, like, it's creepy to know not only that like it gets harder to learn languages as you get older, but to like see how much harder it is for me now. Like, I remember in 8th grade, on a complete whim, I decided I was going to learn Russian, and I memorized the Cyrillic alphabet in like a week. And so when I was working on syllabary, I was like, well, like, this is longer, so maybe it will take longer, but like, I'm also, you know, using better tools, not like handwritten flashcards and everything, and I'm familiar with some of it already, so I'm not starting from scratch. And so I thought it would only take me like a week or two, and no, it is taking me like, as you know, very long. So I'm still chugging away at that. I was thinking about maybe making a second practice set to like supplement it. So like, once I get pretty good at this set, changing to a new set of practice words and then seeing if I'm still retaining the memory of those letters, or if I'm like thrown once it's a new set of words. So I think that that would be good as a way to like test myself. So I've also been using some of the like We Are Learning Cherokee textbook, and I was very excited to start with this because, you know, it has like the audio files attached. But then when I like downloaded the audio files and opened them up, and I saw that each like individual word is its own audio file, like, I was kind of sad because like I was hoping I could listen to someone reading the lesson, and I realized that like that's just not something that they've done, and there's limited resources to put into some of these things. But I was kind of like, oh man, they're all individual. But then at the same time, I kind of wonder if I could attach that to a Quizlet set and maybe have it like read out loud the words at the same time as it shows the phonetics. Because I think that that would be good, because like obviously learning this independently at the moment, like pronunciation is a big like problem for me. Like, some of the things I've heard in class, I know how to say them, but obviously you know, some of the words that I only know from my vocab set, like I don't know how they're pronounced. So yeah, so I'm planning on eventually, I don't know yet if I'm going to do this before I've solidly memorized the syllabary or wait until after, but at some point I do want to use the audio files to work on my pronunciation. And then also, I think if I remember correctly, the word list on the Cherokee website, when you look up a word, you can press play and see how it's pronounced. So I'd also like to take advantage of that, which I think would be, you know, really useful, because I don't want to like show up to like the immersion summer school or something sounding like Boo Boo the Fool because I don't know how to pronounce words. like that's not ideal. And also, obviously, I don't want to learn things really solidly in a way where I'm pronouncing them wrong and then like have trouble relearning the things that I learned incorrectly. And then the other thing about like my learning that I wanted to give an update on is that I've been having some like back and forth trying to decide how much time per week I should dedicate to this. Like, of course, part of me is like, shoot for the stars, spend like 15 hours a week on this, do it every day for 2 hours. And that's like sort of how I feel like I should do this. Like I feel like in a book, that's what like the protagonist would do in like a YA novel or whatever. But like at the same time, I don't want to get like resentful of doing it or like get burnt out on it or anything. And I don't want to like push myself really hard in like a naive way and then be like upset when it doesn't work out and when I like want to do other things that are maybe like more relaxing or more mindless, because like obviously it's a stressful time right now. So yeah, that's something that I've been thinking about as well. I think for now I'm going to just make sure that like I spend some time every day on Cherokee, and that like I am not just it's not just something I do like every few days. I think about it and I like work on it for an hour and a half, but like that each day I'm spending at least 20 minutes working on the flashcards, but not really keeping track of my overall time per week and not stressing about that. So that's all I had to say about like the actual Cherokee language learning part of this, but I also kind of had a brainwave this week about the master and apprentice, sorry, I can't pronounce anything today, master and apprentice program. So I like actually read the documents online about it. Imagine that. And after doing like the minimal amount of effort, I learned way more about it. So it looks like they accept applications in December and then start the cohort in the spring, and it's a 2-year commitment. It's full-time, which is the part I knew already. That's 40 hours a week, and that you move to Delacqua. And also I learned that they like subsidize your living expenses. I don't know how much they pay. I obviously, it's not going to be like living a life of luxury, because you want to maximize the number of people who can participate, and for that sake, like I don't mind living like a grad student again. I did it for 2 years, I can do it for another 2 years. So now to get to the part that I maybe shouldn't be saying on a YouTube video, but like right now, as I may have mentioned before, I'm doing a fellowship with the federal government, which I really like. Like I like the people, especially everyone's very nice, very helpful. I feel like I'm learning a lot, and I have work that like I know how to do and that like I can work on independently and remotely, which is of course a huge privilege. And it pays quite well, which is also obviously a huge privilege. But it's kind of like difficult because I definitely want to do the master and apprenticeship program at some point. And like I feel like sooner is better than later, because I probably will only continue to get more rusty at learning languages, and it's probably a good idea to do it when I'm younger. And then also if I want to teach it to my kids later on, like obviously I don't know if I'm even going to have kids, but like if I want to have the option of raising future children, future hypothetical children, as native speakers of Cherokee, then like I need to learn it quickly, because I'm almost 24 now, and so it's like it may take me like 4 or 5 years to get decently like proficient in Cherokee, and at that point like the clock is ticking. So what I'm thinking is I will convert to a full-time employee at the federal government in about midsummer of 2022. So at that point, I will probably be open with my boss and my coworkers about the fact that I'd be thinking about applying to the Cherokee language program in the winter. And so then if I still really want to do it, I'll apply in that cycle. And if I get accepted, start in the spring. If I don't get accepted, continue my job at the federal government for another year and then apply again. And so like then I would move to Delacqua and see how I liked it. And obviously like I've never lived in a town as small as Delacqua, but you know, I think I can do anything for 2 years, and it's not far from Tulsa, so like I can't imagine it being that much of a struggle, really. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess I hope my managers at work don't see this and see me talking about it, but if they do, like, I mean, no tea, no shade. Like, it's not about the job or anything. It's just, that I have a responsibility to the Cherokee Nation and to the Cherokee language, um, to, do my part, I guess. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. I do spend an inordinate amount of time looking at like facts about Delacqua and the other counties on the Cherokee Reservation. And like I've never actually been out there. Like I've driven through Tulsa, and that's like as much as I've done, even though I like literally have cousins in Tulsa that I've like never met. Because there was some kind of like I think there was some kind of like fight within the family before like I was born or something. Uh, but like yeah, I've never met those cousins, but like I've been talking to my mom about doing a trip out there, and spending some time like seeing that area because I really haven't spent much time at all in Oklahoma. And my mom, she grew up spending summer vacations in the Tulsa area. So to set my goals for the next few days, I think I'm going to just keep working on my flashcards, maybe make a second set on Quizlet, and I guess I will give an update on how much progress I've made. If anyone's watching these, feel free to throw me suggestions in the comments or something, on what else I should do like on camera to like maybe make things more interesting. Like any way I can like show progress or something. Or if I should do like a word of the week, that's my favorite word I learned that week or something, I don't know. Or like a Cherokee history segment, I don't know, but like I'm trying to learn the language holistically, and like by which I mean like learning history and culture alongside of the language. So any suggestions I am totally welcome to, although I have not really publicized this that much. I've thought about giving a shout out to like Cherokee Nation on Twitter or something because they like always respond to tweets. But like I'm also kind of nervous just in case like if people do watch and they're like, you're doing a bad job or something, like my emotional state is fragile enough as it is without having like mass criticism from a group of people that like, their opinion does matter to me, the Cherokees of Twitter, I guess. But like, yeah, so I haven't done that yet, but maybe like eventually I will, so that there's someone to know that this is happening other than my apparently completely faithless friends and family who don't bother to watch them. But yeah, I have been getting views from people who definitely aren't my kin, so whoever you mysterious watchers are, welcome, throw me a line or something. Yeah, but that's all I'm gonna say for this rambling outro. Yeah. Dodoreko ha'i, and have a great week, everyone.